plains of Strothalm, the absolute evil continued its efforts to free Talia. The trail led it to the vicinity of the city of Strothalm, which was once besieged by undead.
These sequences with me in a cage are being stretched out far too long here. Can't we talk this out somehow? Maybe rock, scissors, paper, like in the old days?
Huh. You know I always go for the good old rock. But speaking of stones, I will soon have all the stones of Finichu together. And then...
Nobody gives a damn about your stupid marbles, you dumbass.
While Tanya was engrossed in an animated discussion with her stepbrother, the brain-eating evil was already attempting a, more or less, fruitless attempt to free her. Since undead simply resurrected somewhat later in the graveyard after their demise, an unsuccessful onslaught was no great tragedy. Admittedly, the creature-wasting evil probably never took the loss of subordinates too tragically in the first place. But back to the subject at hand. Fortunately, there were ancient mausoleums in the vicinity, which were home to powerful undead and could provide a significant supply of reinforcements. The map-studying evil eagerly took notes.
Ha! See that, Tristan? My armies will free me. Go on, you undead! Knock them down! Eat their brains! I don't know, just do something.
A temple with a sacrificial pit would need to be built before the merciless evil's undead creatures could summon more minions. Quickly, the construction-obsessed evil set about doing just that. The frivolous evil had erected a temple. From now on, blight could be stored there, which would greatly enhance the ode to grave-wearing evil's undead armies.
It seems your creatures don't even dare to leave the underground tower. But they are not safe there either. Forward, men! Destroy the dungeon in the underground!
creatures are collecting their pay. Enemies have entered the dungeon. The colourful clothes-wearing evil had discovered a dungeon gate in the underground. Apparently, this was one of the 3 lost burial chambers. All that was needed to benefit from it was to open the burial chamber, presumably with a few firm blows. The gruesome evil welcomed a Bone Lord into its ranks. Not only could this mighty swordsman both dish it out and take it, but could also summon skeletal mages as minions. This was apparently the final resting place of the legendary mercenary army, the Scallywag Ragtags. The pragmatic evil was bound to have an idea as to what it could do with the undead found there. The zombie-like evil had unleashed powerful undead forces. The use of these powers meant each of its undead creatures could both move faster and summon an additional minion to its side. Each additional burial chamber would provide 1 additional minion. Strengthened by the captured blight, one of the undead creatures was able to summon a minion to its side. The extravagant evil was satisfied to note that its undead were able to use blight and minions to maximize the number of creatures that could be used carelessly. Undead forces roamed around. Additional minions now stood available. The poking around evil had discovered another burial chamber. The resurrected evil unleashed its accelerating undead forces. Additional minions rose. This tomb was dedicated to the archers of the Scallywag Ragtags. Legend has it that they could miss a barn door even at 10 meters. Their corpses would certainly be put to good use by the self-sacrificing evil.
Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Powerful undead forces allowed additional minions to rise from their graves.
There, I see my subjects, brave creatures, already appearing on the horizon. Once they get their hands on you, that summer camp will seem like a lovely vacation compared to that.
Ha! My men will stop that foe. My brothers! In your eyes, I see the same fear that would lead me...
What? That same old crap again? Good grief! Can't you just steal something else? Maybe you should follow Ned Stark's example a little more. That would be a blessing for everyone involved.
The resurrected evil unleashed its accelerating undead forces. At the achievement accumulating evil had now discovered the third burial chamber as well. The remains found here were those of the alchemists of the Scallywag Ragtags, who considered arsenic to be a refreshing mouth gel. These corpses would prove perfect vessels for mindless zombies. Powerful undead. One of the undead creatures that had fallen in battle had gone to rest in the graveyard, only to rise again after some time had passed. The mercenaries.
My armies are getting closer, little brother. Want to go ahead and pick out a nice tombstone? Not that you need it when I put your head on a spear.
We do not need to further elaborate on your misdeeds, sister. My armies are not yet defeated, and the hero's courage is unbroken.
The courage may be unbroken, but the spine.
It's payday. Enemies have entered the dungeon.
Ha! The vile stench of the undead is still coming ever closer. Forward, faithful! Destroy that vermin!
Problems, brother mine? Is that the sweat of fear I can see on your brow? This reminds me of when you were going to ask Chelsea Chubby Cheeks to prom.
That's not the point here.
And she dumped you because she wanted to take her dog for a walk instead.
The dungeon heart is being attacked. One of your creatures has bit the dust. The resurrected evil unleashed its accelerating undead forces. Additional minions rose.
There are enemies in your dungeon.
The sacrificial evil had a temple built complete with a sacrificial pit. The greedy-looking black maw with its dark void seemed to be eagerly awaiting offerings. Presumably, the evil spirits would reward each sacrifice with some soothing blight. The experimental evil set about testing this theorem. The uneval evil had thrown evilness into the sacrificial pit. Was this a sensible idea? undead forces roamed the land. Additional minions now stood available.
It's payday.
Enemies have entered the dungeon. The resurrected evil unleashed its accelerating undead forces. Additional minions rose. Undead forces roamed the land. Additional minions now stood available. Powerful undead forces allowed additional minions to rise from their graves.
At last! Come on, let's beat them, fry them up, smear them on our toast.
The sovereign evil had freed Talia from the clutches of her stepbrother. Pity, really. I found it quite pleasant not to have someone constantly interrupting me.
I will ignore your insolence for now, but only because I have to deal with that damn Tristan. The step in stepbrother is going to be an architectural statement when I'm done with him.
Lost in her rant, Talia had missed the fact that her stepbrother Tristan had meanwhile made a run for it.
What? That cowardly, dishonest, disgusting